Welcome back. There is a great appreciation for school teachers right now as parents are now serving as stand-ins to help their children learn from home. Joining us to talk about how schools and students are managing the coronavirus crisis is Fran Rabinowtiz. Fran is the executive director of the Connecticut Association of Public School Superintendents. Fran, thank you so much for being with us tonight.
You're very welcome, Erin. I'm happy to be here.
This is such a unique situation and something that no one anticipated, and now parents are more grateful than ever for the work of the education community, just seeing firsthand the job that you have to do day in and day out. What would you say to parents to reassure them as they try to navigate this new way of homeschooling?
I would say it's that probably the most important thing that we need to think about right now is keeping our children and our families safe is number one. I think that a very trusted friend and longtime attorney, Tom Mooney, and I were speaking on Saturday, and he said to me, he quoted and said, you know, the enemy of good is perfect, and we are not going to be perfect in this. Learning how to do a better job of online learning are thrust into, and we do understand that parents have been thrust into this as well. And from what I know, parents love their children, they do the very best they can, and we certainly, educational community, are to assist them in any way possible.
Obviously, like you said, Fran, this is an imperfect situation. Some students have already started e-learning, but other districts are still working on that process. How difficult and challenging in these unprecedented times to make sure students are still learning?
Absolutely. And we believe had 5 or 6 conference calls today with different groups of superintendents. I can say every superintendent in Connecticut is attempting to meet the needs of their students in the best possible. We've had tremendous communication with Commissioner of Education, Dr. Gail Cardona, and he is very aware of the issues coming up. Districts are doing the very best they can. The truth is, distance learning is more well known in the middle and high school level. Students are very used to, in most districts, are very used to using computers and going to different websites, etc. In many districts, it's a little foreign in the elementary level to use it for distance learning in the way that we are attempting to do it right now. Some districts were able to take off right away. Some are having their teachers in this week, training in Google Classroom, etc. And some, unfortunately, this is where the opportunity gap or achievement gap and resource gap really shows itself, because in some districts, the hardware, the Chromebooks are not available, the Wi-Fi is not available in every home, and etc. And we're working on that for all districts.
Fran, there are a lot of implications down the road. We are talking about the possibility of missed graduations, missed testing. How do we handle this as we still wait to learn whether class will eventually be back in session?
Well, we're certainly hoping that class will be back in session. I think, commencements, we're still looking favorably and hoping for the best. But if that doesn't happen, we really have to keep in mind that the most important thing is that our children are safe. And I know that's hard to think about, but that is certainly, what our commissioner is holding out. And he's telling everyone, we're going to do the best we can. We're going to work these things out. Honestly, right now, state testing is a low priority concern. We'll see where we go with that, but it is not the most important thing right now.
What accommodations are being made right now, Fran, for students who are different learners?
We are trying very hard, and to be honest with you, in all of the conversations with superintendents, this is a top priority, and we're learning together how to provide the services to our ability that meet the requirements of the individual education plan. Again, going back to my statement that this is not going to be perfect, but I think we're all holding it as a priority as we go forward.
I want to ask you, Fran, about the teachers. Obviously, there has been a growing appreciation for all they do and for what they do for our kids day in and day out. They are amazing. They get into this business because they have a greater calling to take care of our children and teach them. My father was a high school principal and teacher for 37 years, and he couldn't wait for winter break to be over so he could get back in the classroom. And I imagine this is also a difficult time for our teachers right now, not being able to do what they absolutely love.
I think what we are going to understand, and what I've understood and most have understood, is teachers are an amazing resource. They are sometimes underappreciated. And I think that what I know of teachers, they got into this profession because they love children and they want to do what is the very best for children. And they're helping us as, my colleagues who are superintendents and administrators, to really be able to do this distance learning and all of the other strategies that we're using. It's teachers that are bringing this forward. And one of the things that I am so appreciative of right now is the teamwork that's happening in districts. It's just amazing to me. And I hope that this is something that will continue on.
And I imagine it will. Fran, thank you so much for your insight, and thank you to all of the education professionals all across the state. We are so thankful for your service.
Thank you so much, Erin.